Welcome to the Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Donna McCartney, and I am delighted to be your worship associate today. Well, first of all, let me talk about the elephant in the room. Yeah, I know my neck brace looks scary, and in fact, this was my Halloween costume this year. But for those who know me, know that I had a planned neck surgery last month, and that I've been slowly, healing and getting stronger, and I'm strong enough to be here today as your worship associate, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I will hopefully be able to take this off forever on Wednesday when I see my spine doctor. So fingers crossed. If the next time I see you next Sunday, I hope to be neck brace free. So now that that's out of the way, I am joined in welcoming you this morning by Wendy Karn, our intern minister. It's lovely to have her back once a month and more often too. And also our Director of Religious Education and Music Ministries for Children and Youth, and that is, no, I'm sorry, let me start that again. I just connected two different people here. Deep breath, here we go. So I am also happy to welcome with you our intern minister, sorry, we already met Wendy. Start over again. So Karen Magoon Pearson, our Director of Religious Education for Children and Youth, is with us today, and she's happy to welcome us too. And Jacob Sweatland, our Director of Music Ministries. And Jacob has someone he would like to introduce you to.
Hello, everybody. So, as you may have noticed, we've been trying to find a new accompanist or collaborative artist. And so at the piano today, we have Julian Berger, who is our new church accompanist. Thank you. He currently attends Chapman University, where he's studying composition. He's majoring in composition and minoring in sound design. So give him a warm welcome. This is his first Sunday, so thank you.
Welcome, welcome, Julian. We're delighted to have you. And thanks for joining our family, our church family. So as Unitarian Universalists, we have many different beliefs, but we are one loving community. We are bound together not by a common set of rules or beliefs, but rather by a covenant. A covenant is simply a promise that whatever our beliefs, we accept one another and encourage each other in spiritual growth. We affirm that all life has inherent value and that all existence is interconnected. We strive for justice and compassion in our deeds and our relationships. And we are committed to creating a welcoming community without regard to traits that divide some people. To our roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones. You know who you are. For our Zoomers, morning Zoomers, great to have you join us. We invite you to say hello in the chat. I want to extend a special welcome to visitors. If you are seeking a spiritual home here, we hope that you will find it. Later in this service, we'll have an opportunity to introduce yourself if you'd like to. So let our worship begin with the lighting of our chalice. In a minute, I'm going to invite one of our fabulous choir members, Amy Tompkins, up to light the chalice. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Amy. She joined OCUC in 2007. She was looking for community. She was thrilled to join the choir. And she is so glad she's found her people. Amy was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, and has always dreamed of living in Southern California. So dreams do come true. Right, Amy? So Amy?
We don't have light.
Well, actually, this was lit before, but now we've got a little wind going on here. Hang on a second. Let's do it this way. You hold that,
Okay.
and I will fire you up.
I think we got it. Love
Is the spirit of this church, and service is its law.
to dwell
Together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. This we affirm together.
Yay, Amy. Let us rise, embody our spirit, and sing our opening song. Okay.
Some people are used to keeping rules. Don't cross the street when the light is red. Only sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us instead of keeping a bright line to keep our promises. To what have we promised ourselves? To this moment in time and place, to this community, and even tenderly interconnected this planet. We promise ourselves to the idea that we are all, each, human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us that we cannot tame and we cannot measure. This chalice is a reminder that the flame we keep inside us cannot keep the light away. The light must spill. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone as though you were made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now, and together we will chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that the future is a space for growth.
We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are standing in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are standing in the memory of those who have fallen, standing for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are singing in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are singing in the memory of those who have fallen, singing for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. Courage to be who we are.
Are you next?
Good morning. Our story this morning is Red by Michael Hall. He was red. But he wasn't very good at it. Oh dear. His teachers thought he needed more practice. I'll draw a red strawberry, then you draw a red strawberry. You can do this, really. But he couldn't, really. Like this? Oh my, let's try again. His mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. Why don't you two go out and draw a nice round orange? A really big one. A really orange one. But they made a big greenish one. Yuck. Oops. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. Your class is making self-portraits for Parents' Night. Wear this warm red scarf. Nice, it's so you. But it so wasn't. Oh, dear me. Everyone seemed to have something to say. Sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all. Don't be silly, it says red on his label. He came that way from the factory. Frankly, I don't think he's very bright. Well, I think he's lazy. Right, he's got to press harder. Really apply himself. Give him time, he'll catch on. Of course he will. But he didn't catch on. Green frog, black sheep, brown cow, red, All the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside. This will help hold you together. The scissors thought his label was too tight. One snip should do it. I thought he wasn't sharp enough. Stay still now. But even with all our help and all his hard work, he just couldn't get the hang of it. One day he met a new friend. Will you make me a blue ocean for my boat? I can't. I'm red. Will you try? So he did. Thank you, it's perfect. You're welcome, it was easy. And he didn't stop there. Bluebells, blue jeans, bluebird, blueberries, blue whale. I'm blue. He was blue, and everyone was talking. His blue ocean really lifted me. My son is brilliant. Who could have known he was blue? I always said he was blue. It was obvious. All of his work makes me happy. His blue strawberries are my favorites. He's so intense. I'm going to make a green lizard with him, a really big one. I hear he's working on a huge new project. He's really reaching for the sky. And he really was. All right, we're gonna sing our children and their teachers out to their religious education classes.
They're already gone.
I invite you now to close your eyes or rest your gaze. Soften your heart in the spirit of meditation and prayer. And I would like you to consider today how it feels to really, truly be loved and accepted in the world. Think about those times when you felt that. May you be loved and accepted everywhere you go. May it be so. So, why do we gather? According to Priya Parker, author of a book called The Art of Gathering, gathering is the conscious bringing together of people for a reason. Gathering shapes the way we think, feel, and make sense of our world. We gather to celebrate with each other. We gather to grieve with each other and give comfort in time of sadness. We gather to make meaning together in relationship with each other. We gather because we desire the companionship of other people. This week, many people in the United States and in this community are gathering to celebrate Thanksgiving. We have even more traditional times of gathering coming up with the winter holidays, but we have the opportunity to gather here in this space every Sunday, either in person or online. As Unitarian Universalists and community, we have a multitude of reasons for gathering here. Our tagline, many beliefs, one loving community. There is so much power in relationship, and it's really where the magic happens. When we gather with the intention of making space for growth, transformation, forgiving, and receiving care, we change ourselves. And when we change ourselves, we are taking the first steps to changing the world. This is a special service today. Today we're gathering to observe Transgender Day of Remembrance. The official day of remembrance is November 20th, which is tomorrow, Monday, and it is commemorated with vigils and the readings of names of transgender and gender nonconforming individuals who have died by violent acts committed against them. These attacks that happened because they made the choice to live their lives authentically. I am a cisgendered white woman, cisgendered meaning my gender identity matches the body I was born with. And it's not without some challenges to live in this body, but I don't have the daily task of being told or having to tell people what my gender is, what my pronouns are. My pronouns are she, her, and sometimes we are challenged in our community as people change their pronouns to kind of get a handle on that. And even though I live among many people who identify as transgendered, I make my mistakes too. There's a person that is a colleague of mine, and I was originally introduced to them with the wrong pronoun. So in my effort to make sure that I know this important colleague, there's somebody who really kind of holds my future in their hand, I have found myself referring to them as she from time to time. And being that this person is somebody who's in community with a lot of my colleagues too, they gently remind me it's they. And I think I have their pronouns down though. But what my friends and community are doing is they're giving opportunity to me to learn, and also they're behaving as allies so that the person who is a lovely person in my community, they don't have to do the emotional labor of correcting me. So that is just something that has happened in my life. And I've had other mistakes too. I think we all have. It's part of learning who we are in these communities and how we build our friendships. And I'm grateful for the call out. But I will say it takes great courage on the part of anyone to respond what can be perceived as a microaggression, whether that's coming from a friend or a stranger, or even worse, a hostile presence. So we're all learning together, and we're bound to make those unintentional mistakes as we live to learn in relationship across difference. In the lovely words of Maya Angelou, do the best you can until you know better. And when you know better, you do better. Works for a lot of things, doesn't it? We can do better by supporting public policies that support the rights of the LGBTQIA community. Policies that make our schools, our workplaces, our public spaces, any spaces free from discrimination. I had the opportunity to observe a support group for parents and transgender youth down in San Diego when I was there. And I met a couple who felt compelled to leave their home state of Texas. They feared for how their transgender child would be treated in the future. A bill had been introduced in the Texas legislature that would require mandatory reporting to Child Protective Services for any parent or person that was providing gender-affirming care to a minor. And while their child was yet to decide if gender-affirming care was something they were going to continue with, this family felt compelled to really consider this. And they did say that in the school that they were attending, they were able to use the teacher's bathroom, their child, and that the teachers in her classroom were referring to her as her chosen name. So while they felt supported in that space, they felt that they couldn't trust that that was going to continue with this and other bills on the table. They felt the risk of future discrimination and lack of safety was just too great for them to stay, so they left Texas. But there are bills that aim to limit the rights for transgender citizens under consideration in 49 out of 50 states right now, and it's over 500 pieces of legislation that are being considered. So it's up to us as a community, as transgender people, as allies of transgender people, to be aware of what's happening in our communities. So the Transgender Day of Remembrance that we're honoring today was created by an activist named Gwendolyn Ann Smith, and it provides love and support of honoring people who were not kept safe in their community. As a loving community, we want every transgender person, child, adult, to lead a safe and authentic life. This ritual was created by Gwendolyn in 1999 to honor the memory of Rita Hester. She's right here. This mural was dedicated recently after being put before the community at a pride celebration in Boston where she was from, and it is now mostly completed. Rita was a Black transgender woman who was shot in her apartment in 1998. She was someone who crossed cultural barriers and was active in a wide diversity of communities. She was an activist, an artist, a friend. She was killed only because she was transgender. Rita is memorialized in this memorial. The Human Rights webpage has more information on each of the people pictured today that we will be talking about in our remembrance. They shared many of these victims were killed by partners and acquaintances, others by strangers, some of whom have been arrested and charged, while others have yet to be identified. Some of these cases involved clear anti-transgender bias, and others, the victim's transgender or non-gender conforming status may have put them at risk in other ways, such as forcing them into unemployment, poverty, homelessness, or survival sex work. 50% of these victims were either misgendered by or called by the wrong pronoun in their memorials, and also by the authorities who are investigating the crimes against them. Fatal violence disappropriately affects transgender women of color, particularly Black transgender women, and that the intersections of racism, sexism, homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, along with unchecked access to guns, conspire to deprive them of employment, housing, health care, and other necessities. Please extend compassion and love to those that they have left behind. Like other Transgender Days of Remembrance rituals, we will honor their lives by stating their name, giving a brief description of some of their qualities, and lighting a candle. And at this time, I would like to invite Jamie and Jazzy to the altar to light candles in their honor. They're going to light from the chalice. Thank you. London Price, a 26-year-old Black transgender woman who was described by her aunt as being always beautiful and pretty, saying, she'll give you the shirt off her back. And I think that's what put her into this situation where she got hurt. Lisa Love, a 35-year-old Black transgender woman who is described as a friend, as funny and smart and beautiful and a breath of fresh air to this world. Lisa's cousin remembered her as an all-around good person who did not deserve this, a loving, caring, free-spirited person, always smiling and laughing. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of order here, I guess. Dominic Dupree, age 25. He is missed by his surviving family. He was from Gary, Indiana, and he owned 2 companies, including a private protection company, a lawn care company, and a snow removal company. The family and friends expressed their grief and tributes on their social media page. Annie Johnson, who is also known as Annie Robinson, was a 30-year-old Black transgender woman from Washington, D.C. Annie was well loved by many friends and described as a source of love and laughter. Sherlyn Marjorie was a 35-year-old Latina transgender woman and drag performer, one who was remembered as being the best impersonator in Tijuana. My second Edith Marquez. She was beloved by her local LGBTQIA+ community in Albuquerque, New Mexico. China Long was a 30-year-old Black transgender woman and dance choreographer who was mourned by her friends and family in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Luis Angel Diaz Castro, a trans man from Puerto Rico. He studied at the Universidad at Puerto Rico on Arabico and worked at the Department of Education. He also loved Latin music. Yoko was a talented non-binary artist and DJ. Yoko loved their family and friends. Those who remember Yoko, they remember her as being an exceptional, joyful, absurdly talented, extremely loving, and gentle human. Yoko's work included modeling, tattooing, murals, publications, solo showings, curating art shows, and doing live works in many different shows and events. Thomas Tom Tom Robertson, a 28-year-old Black gender nonconforming person, was working as a cook at a local IHOP restaurant in East Chicago, Indiana. Having relocated there from Chicago, Illinois, where they were born and raised, Thomas frequently changed the color and style of their hair and loved posting photos online about it, showcasing their creativity. Devani Jaree Johnson, a 28-year-old Black transgender woman, was a vibrant artist who was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She had moved to Los Angeles in order to transition. Those who knew her called her well-loved and cherished as a friend in the community. Camden Ryder, a 21-year-old white transgender man from Winter Park, Florida, was 8 months pregnant and looking forward to becoming a parent. Jacob Williamson, an 18-year-old transgender man, worked at a local Waffle House. He was beloved by his coworkers. He had actually just moved in with his best friend, who he met working at the Waffle House, and was looking forward to a bright future. Jacob loved to sing and draw. Chanel Perez Ortiz, a 29-year-old Puerto Rican transgender woman, was a cosmetologist. She was interested in fashion and makeup and hairstyles, and she liked to share quotes from the French designer Coco Chanel. Asha Davis was a 34-year-old Black transgender woman from Detroit who was full of joy, devoted to her faith, and a loving dog owner to a Yorkie named Clyde. Benko Brown was a 24-year-old Black trans man who is remembered as being brilliant and someone who made everybody laugh. He worked as a community organizer, intern at the Women's Freedom Center. His supervisor said he made friends easily and connected deeply with others. Coco Dadal is a 35-year-old Black transgender woman, a successful rapper who was working on new music and starred in the barrier-breaking award-winning Sundance Film Festival documentary Kokomo City. Ashley Brown was a 37-year-old Black transgender woman who is described as courageous and a fighter by her cousin. Her brother Patrick praised her authenticity as a trans woman, saying, "The way my sibling moved in life, it was take it or leave it. This is how I am. You can respect it or you can neglect it." But Ashley put it out there and let that person know it's not going to be a secret. Tasha Woodland was a Black, high-spirited transgender woman who was protective of those she loved. Tasha's aunt, Lizzie Woodland, said she made everyone around her know that they were loved. Torjita, a 26-year-old Indigenous and non-binary environmental activist, is remembered as a radiant, joyful, beloved community member who brought indescribable jubilance to every moment of their life and fought tirelessly to honor and protect the sacred land of the Wiloji forest. They took great care for each person that they came across. Hi. Welcome. Okay. Welcome, Richard. We'll get you seated here. Chesay Ashinta Henderson, the 31-year-old Black gender woman, is described as a bubbly spirit, down to earth, tell it like it is personality, who is as beautiful as can be inside and out. She had many, many friends. Maria Jose Rivera, a 22-year-old Latina transgender woman, was described by her immigration lawyer as being lively, funny, and dynamic, and a joy to work with. They were working on becoming a U.S. citizen at the time they were killed. Zachi Imanati Witaho A black transgender woman was described as someone who was well loved by family, friends, and coworkers, and that she lived her life bravely and authentically. Unique Banks was described as a proud lioness, a Wonder Woman, and a best friend. She is deeply missed by her friends and family. Casey Johnson, a 27-year-old white woman, is remembered by her partner as being kind and caring and a person that you could really open up to. Jasmine Starr Mack, a 36-year-old black transgender woman, was described by her sister as a sweet person. She also said that her sister loved to sing gospel songs and was an excellent actor. Thank you so much for honoring these folks. I have a reading by a person in our own community. It's a Transgender Day of Remembrance prayer by the Unitarian Universalist minister and chaplain, Reverend Mr. Barb Reeve. This is a prayer for the lost ones, those taken from us too soon and too many. The truth be told, one would be too many. One life taken is one too many to be dead. This is a prayer for those whose lives were taken in violence for who they were and how they were loved. This is a prayer for their families who will never get to know all of who they were to become, nor never again feel their warm embrace. Those who are no longer with us were people. They were our siblings and parents, our children, our coworkers, our lovers. This is a prayer for the lost ones, beautiful human beings who once occupied this earth with beauty and humor and anger and frustration and fear, and those who are no longer with us. This is a prayer for those who are now our ancestors. We pray you continue to guide us towards making a more just, loving, and more accepting world. This is a prayer for the survivors of hate crimes and hate, for those who live in fear and cannot flourish as they are. This is a prayer for the survivors whose lives have been impacted by violence and hate. May we remember the legacy from which we come and the legacy we will leave behind. May we continue to build families of choice and protection for our souls as well as our bodies, trusting that we were always meant to be here and knowing that we are all loved just as we are.
Anyone ever tell you
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all the funds for the operating budget, ministries, and the programs of our church. We are ever grateful for the gifts of your time, treasure, and talent. So OCUC amplifies that spirit of generosity by sharing one half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we are sharing our plate with a favorite of ours, Stand Up for Kids. The focus of this Orange County organization is to end the cycle of youth homelessness in our community. They work to provide basic needs, housing, mentoring support, care, and love to at-risk and homeless youth age 12 to 24. There are multiple ways you can support the church and this organization. You can mail a check, you can go through our website, or use an app called Vanco Mobile. If you're a roomer, you can also simply use the basket as it is passed. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. And as always, thank you for your generosity.
Please join us in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions and words into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share.
Now is a time when we honor the important events in our lives. You're invited, one and all, whether you're a member or a friend or a visitor, to participate in our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. And I would like to invite Judith up to join us. She's one of our pastoral care associates. Thank you, Judith. So let's take a deep breath. Perhaps you come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last days or hours that have struck you at your core. If you'd like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow, you're invited to do so. If you're a roomer, you're invited to come forward and light your candle. And if you would like to share a joy or sorrow, you can write it on a slip of paper provided. And our ushers have those if you haven't picked one up on the way in. If anyone would like to pick one of those up, thank you. And if you're a Zoomer, you are welcome to share a joy or a concern or a sorrow in the chat. And I'll read the joys and sorrows as they come in. Be around to collect those from you shortly. I'm going to start with a joy from the Zoomers today. And anyone else that would like to share a joy or sorrow online, I'm going to read these others, so there's still time. But we're going to start with a joy from Valerie. Her child Daniel got a job that they wanted and is starting next semester. That's great news. And I have a joy from Meg. And thanks for the beautiful flower arrangements that Sandy Martin creates every Sunday. And today it's her turn to receive the Thanksgiving bouquet. Thank you, Sandy. It really, really is beautiful. And we also have a joy from Nancy Lowry and Lockery. I know this. Nancy, I'm going to honor you by never mispronouncing your name ever again. Oh. Well, it's kind of the same situation. I know someone else that pronounces it the other way, but I'm going to learn it. I'm going to do my best. Okay, so the joy is, though, Tom Lockery and she are so pleased that his hip replacement surgery went well on Friday, a total of 6 hours at the hospital, and he is home resting as comfortably as can be expected. Dale has a joy. He says his wonderful transgender daughter, Tara Osborne, is his joy. And we also have gratitude expressed from Sarah for the huge, generous response to the need for turkey boxes for the Friendly Center. We didn't do our official collection this year, but when we reached out on Friday to let you know they needed us, you responded with just 2 days' notice. Over a dozen turkey boxes were donated. She is so touched by the generosity of this church and how you all step up. However, she does not have 2 of the grocery gift cards that go with 2 of the boxes. So if you brought a turkey box today but forgot to hand in a grocery gift card, please bring it to her office. And thank you all again so much. That really means a lot to these families. I have a reflection of sorrow and also hope from E. Kilcher. Please keep me in your thoughts. The young teen that was jumped in my school parking lot on Wednesday evening. One brave teacher stepped in between them to stop the fight. The young teen was able to escape, but left with the not with the opportunity to get quick medical attention. They were able to get quick medical attention. Oh, they were not? Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. Please send safe energy out into the universe for all that were involved in this tragic event. And thank you. Oof. This is from Craig, a sorrow. He's expressing sorrow and concern for the Israeli and Palestine strife. May forgiveness flow. Marilyn wanted to express that her friend Dixie, who just received sudden and difficult health news, please send your highest spiritual blessings. Okay, it looks like that's all of us. So I would like to invite Judith up to say a prayer to support all of the folks in our community and the world.
These are words from Donna Markova. May you live a loved life. May you never diminish your mind or limit your heart. May you stand calm in a wide moment between sky that lifts you and gravity that grounds you. May you let loving unfurl you, then give you away. May you remember you are nest, harbor, garden. May you pass life forward so that which came from those before you and that which grows in those next to you go on to those who will follow you. Amen.
Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are a congregation made up of people who all believe differently, and yet when we gather, whether we're in the room here now or Zoom folks, we make up one loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. If you're a guest or a visitor or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. We encourage you to either write in the chat if you're a Zoomer or if you're a roomer, to stand for a brief moment and tell us your name and where you're from. We'll bring a microphone over and hold it for you so that our Zoomers can hear your name and where you're from when you speak. So are there any guests in the room who would like to introduce themselves right now? Okay, looks like that's it. Okay, thanks. So, no, forgot about the Zoomers. Okay, Zoomers, let me see if there's anyone who wants to introduce on the Zoomers. Hang on one second. Okay, I don't see any in the chat for the Zoomers. So if you'd like to know more about our church, including programming, oh, there is one. It's in the chat.
It just came up.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Cynthia. Hello. I am Cynthia, a 26-year-old trans woman with Friends with Valerie. Thank you for having me. Welcome, Cynthia.
Sorry, Cynthia, welcome. It looks like it's a little bit slow this morning, so it's on there now. And we welcome you. Thanks for joining us today. So if you'd like to know more about our church, including programming for our youth and our children, please contact us at hello@ocuc.org, and we'll help you get connected. In addition, we invite you to sign up for a weekly email called The Blast. And the address is right up there. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community, so please reach out and we'll help you get connected.
Okay, we have a few announcements this week. If you don't know already, there's an all-church event on Wednesday, 11/22 at noon in the courtyard. You must RSVP with Tatiana. You can see the blast in details. But this is a Thanksgiving celebration with the Ukrainians, and they will be making some of their traditional food, and would love it if you would like to share some traditional food of your own. And yeah, I think it sounds like fun. I hope to see you there. And also a save the date for the special congregational meeting that is coming up. It is on Saturday, 12/3 at 11:45, directly following the service. And there is details in the blast as well for that. We also have our regular programming, our Life Changes group, the Stitchwits, the Women's Circle, and those are the announcements that we have. Do we have one more? Oh, that's right. So Reverend Sean is giving a prayer tonight at the Interfaith Music Festival. Do you have a location? Look in the blast. It is at a church in Irvine, which is, it's over there. And I'm sure that she would love to have your presence there. To our trans community and the people that were honored today, may you rest in peace. And may those in our community live an authentic and beautiful life. As we move into Thanksgiving week, if that's something you celebrate, I wish you all the best in your connections, and consider making it a connection with an intention as you go into that time. Make it special and make it full of love. And that's all I have for you today. We have one more. Okay. And if you would like to see Reverend Sean preach a beautiful prayer tonight, I'm sure she would appreciate. And Corey has that address for you if you'd like to attend. Over today, but our work continues out in the world, and we wish you a beautiful week.